So it is time. This is the Infinite Game, and I talk about alternative investments, also traditional ones as well, and crazy. So I actually went to the National Sports Car Convention, and you can see here, I only went to day 2. I need to take this thing off. It's been on my wrist forever. And the Nationals was extremely interesting, and I think there are a lot of insights. So one of the big ones is football. A lot of people want to buy football cards. I understand. I think it's a mistake for some people. Only guys who are going to perform. I think Kyler Murray is going to perform well. I think, Lamar Jackson. I could be wrong, but I think these guys are going to perform well. But, people are just buying football, Jalen Hurts, all these other guys, and speculation. And I think a lot of people are going to get buried. There's just a lot of people buying football. Football seemed to be king. When it comes to sports, it was really football, basketball, but people really look for LeBron, Kobe, Jordan. And then when it comes to not just football, there's soccer as well, but also baseball. A lot of people still want Ohtani. His stuff is going up crazy. I would probably wait to the off season, maybe during the playoffs when he's disappointing. I will wait then to buy Ohtani cards, but that's just me. So the other thing though is, and also I'm going to show some clips of the Nationals, hopefully in this video. I didn't really take much, but as far as my experiences, I only went one day. I was passing through because I started graduate school really soon. One of the things, as far as I brought a lot of soccer stuff, a lot of Christian Pulisic autos, Immaculate, and I believe I brought a Flawless or a National Treasures Christian Pulisic auto, and then the one was an RPA, and then I had Eminence as well for him, and I had some other soccer stuff. I had some Kevin Durant cards, rookie cards, just some low pop stuff, and some really good things I think to kind of sell. But the issue with that was really the things that I think is easier to bring to sports card shows are your base cards or your basic silver or hollow refractors, especially PSA 10, maybe PSA 9, but PSA 10. Those are gonna get more hype than anything else. And then for card shows, I would really just be trying to go after autos and stuff like that. There was soccer stuff, but really the main stuff was baseball, football, and basketball, and then soccer was that fourth one. I didn't really see any tennis there. I didn't see much of UFC stuff. Didn't see much wrestling. There were hobby boxes, and people did have some hobby boxes of that stuff. I didn't see... There's a lot of stuff, a lot of the fringe stuff I didn't see. I did see Pokemon. I didn't see much Yu-Gi-Oh! So when I first got there, I was talking to a guy looking at his stuff. He had some Elvin Hayes cards I was interested in. And then he had some Jim Brown and a few other cards that I was really interested in. The next one I went and saw, talking to a guy, and he had one, he kind of told me about Funko Pops. Apparently they're grading Funko Pops. Need to look into that and make a video on that. But that he had a Trihorn Dragon, which is Yu-Gi-Oh! LOB, Legends of Blue Eyes White Dragon. Long story short, card he was selling for $1,000. A lot of this stuff was overpriced. Across the board, everything was really above comps. A lot of guys, depending on what it was, they would be willing to get rid of it. But if they weren't an expert in it, more likely they were willing to get rid of it and sell it for a much cheaper price. So they weren't even Guy wasn't even into Yu-Gi-Oh, and he was willing to sell it for about 800. I showed him a comp for 749. That's reasonable, because you gotta, unless you're doing PWCC vault, I mean, you gotta factor in sales tax and shipping and all that other stuff, or ship my cards. It's just gonna come up to be a fee and low pop count, so it's hard to really find these, especially at a price like that with the market going down. And that probably was like the price at the bottom of the market, so that was fair, him offering 800. But I just didn't go back to the table. But he didn't know much about Yu-Gi-Oh at all, and he was just like, yeah, it's just the price. But I showed him PWCC sale, but he didn't want to go. I probably could have talked him down, but I went on some other tables looking at autos. Another one, I ran into the guy had a Sabonis Optic 2016. It was an Optic Auto Gold out of 10. It was a BGS 9, and Auto was graded at 10. That one was really interesting just because I think Sabonis is going to get traded and it's going to be a major play. The card he was interested in for me is my 1952 Topps Albert Einstein card. It's rare. It's not... There are rare cards out there. There are some 9s. I had a PSA 8, and he wanted to do like a trade. We're thinking about doing a trade, but the issue I had was he was valuing the card at $750, and that's what he got the card for, and it was probably close to the top of the market. And I'm pretty sure that card went down, even though somebody's spending, you know, a lot of money for the base. I didn't think the card was worth $750 anymore. Probably $650, $600. Yeah, some people spent, you know, a base auto or a silver auto, $100, $200, but Sabonis, I don't know like what you're looking for long term. He's 25 years old. He plays for the Indiana Pacers. Yeah, you know, Luka is, you know, one of the other things I told him was like, yeah, Luka was very popular, but most international players aren't, and Luka's different than Sabonis. So most international players aren't really popular when it comes to basketball unless you have potential of being an all-time great, really top 30 all-time. If not, your cards, if you're an international player, it doesn't really matter as much. He was trying to sell me on that, and he was like, oh, well, you know, the market went down, and he was trying to, you know, that's the thing what people do as far as negotiation. They try to spin it, so they try to play down, you know, the bad that they have and play up the good of their card, and then the other person they're trying to trade and sell to, the other things they're trying to trade. So if someone's trying to trade me something, I would talk, you know, down. It's like, oh yeah, I should get rid of it just because these are negative things, and you want to hype up the negative things about their stuff and downplay the good in a sense. And it was really that back and forth. And I was gonna do the deal if it was gonna be $300, but he's at $325. And I was just thinking, I don't know if it's necessarily worth it, just because most of the cars I have are for me to sell 20 years down the line, maybe 30, maybe 40. And Sabonis, I just don't see as a long-term hold. I see him as an all-star, you know, maybe makes 5 NBA All-Star teams. He's a really good player, but he's not 22 anymore. He's 25. So that's the issue. I don't know how much more he's going to get better. I think he will get a little bit better, but I don't see him being like an all-time great. And I don't necessarily even see him being a Paul Gasol. I think that's the best case scenario of him being Paul Gasol. So I just didn't take the deal. He didn't really have much else that I was